were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic.
Welcome to 3, the most innovative metaphysical program ever created. Join Chris, Rainey, and Mona as these amazing intuitives provide you with a three-dimensional divination into your most important questions. Now, from Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, enjoy 3 with our hostess, Mona Van Joseph.
Welcome, everyone, to this wonderful episode of 3. Now, how do you be on the program? Go to three.vegas, and then you get to actually interact with Chris Gray, our master astrologer, Rainy Day, our intuitive medium, and me, I'm your intuitive tarot consultant. So the way the program works is you think of a specific question, you ask the specific question, and you choose which reader you would like to have answer the question first. Now, all 3 of us will actually address your question, but you get to choose who's first that answers your question. Now, this is a specific question. It's not, what does Spirit want to tell me? Because if that comes up, we're going to tell you that anyway. But usually you want to concentrate on something that is very important to you, some issue that you're dealing with. Maybe it's career, family, relationships, projects, business. You want to focus on something specific so that we can hone in our skills right on you. So how do you be on 3? You go to www.3.vegas. You go to how to be on 3 page, click on that, fill out the contact page, and we will reach out to you about a week before we tape our next series of programs. Now, what will happen is you're going to zoom into the program. So we're going to get to see your reaction in your face while we're answering your question, which is fabulous for us and also fabulous for our viewers. All right, we're going to be back right after this with Donna.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Through community, awareness, resources, and education, or CARE, we're here to support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Movement. Visit our website, thementalhealthmoment.org, or follow us on our social media platforms, because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
And we're back, and we have Donna on the air with us on 3. Hi, Donna. Welcome to the program.
Hello. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so you're going to choose which one of us you want to have answer your question first.
Okay.
And then you're going to ask your question. So all 3 of us are going to address that specific question. So who would you like to have answer your question first?
Can't talk. I'm going to choose you, Mona, first.
Why, thank you, Donna. Okay, so what is your question?
My question is, what could I may be resisting or blind to that could stop me from seeing my path forward or moving forward on my path? Is there anything in my body, anything stopping me from moving forward on my path?
Okay, so because you're not telling me the specific path you're leaning into, so whether that is just the big global path, or if there's a path connected with career or love or health or relationships just in general. So I'm going to go with what the cards are going to tell me about that. So concentrate on your question, and I'm going to draw your cards right now. So in my tarot deck, there is a very, very powerful card, and it's called the Master. It is an extra card in my tarot deck. Most other tarot decks don't have a 79th card, although some tarot decks have more than one magician card in the deck, like the Aleister Crowley deck has that, Salvador Dali deck has that. But in the Osho Zen tarot deck, there's one extra card. It's called the Master. What's also interesting is you came in this lifetime to lead people spiritually. And so if I could actually say that that the big thing is you're not allowing the flow of spirit to work through you, you're fighting it. So the card called the Master, when it's in that position, it means that when you were very young, you and God, spirit, universe, Buddha, karma, whatever you want to call it, had a very open line of communication. You didn't need any organized religion in order to have that relationship with spirit. For whatever reason, when you talk about a block, basically it all says pick up the tin can with the string. Imagine that God, universe, spirit, Buddha, karma is on the other side, and just start talking to spirit. Because as soon as you start talking to spirit, it says the signs are going to fall right in your lap. And it leads to this card. Now, in my deck, it's called aloneness. In traditional tarot, it's called the Hermit. So when people look at this card, they think that the monk is going toward the light, when in fact the monk is so full of light that the light beams from the monk's heart and the monk becomes the source of light. So I actually am going to point you in the path of you becoming the source of light. Now, going back to something that happened in your past, I actually wonder if you write a screenplay. You write a screenplay that talks about a dark time or difficult time in your own path where it seems like you had a quadruple glass ceiling above you. You got out of a really, really bad situation. Whatever it was, is that you writing the screenplay about that. Even if that's not the thing that opens everything, it's saying there's some very difficult thing that you actually addressed in your path and what happened in your past. And what it's saying is that by you writing the screenplay of that, you light the way for other people that have been in that exact situation. The card that goes into this spread of cards is a card called Guidance, which means there are three spirits around you right now, pushing you in a new direction. And I do think that it means that you have to, for lack of a better way to say it, you have to show your underwear, or that there's holes in your underwear. Because by you showing the holes in your underwear, you're basically helping other people sew up the holes in their underwear. I know that sounds like a weird way to say that. And then these last two cards is the minor and major version of the same vibration. You have so many talents that you bring to the table, but you present a very serene face, and you don't, for lack of a better way, you don't actually bring these other talents up. They don't bubble up into your personality. You just use those talents in order to get a task or something done. But what it's saying here is it's time for you to lean into these other talents, because the way your cards are coming up is that the big thing you're supposed to do is just start talking to spirit and be an open channel for spirit. And then the work is easy. So once you make the decision, the work is easy. So the prayer that I would say to myself every night before I go to bed would be, Spirit, guide me to my true place success. Just very simply, I'm praying for my true place success. And then all the blocks that go along with what you're feeling right now dissolve, because you start paying attention to what seems to happen by coincidence or is being literally just dumped in your lap. All right. But you came in this lifetime to do some very big purposeful things. I see you in front of large groups of people talking about your story. I see you lighting the way. I see you saying to people, so what if you're afraid? Do it anyway. Because that's what I had to do. Because these cards are saying that your own life path is giving you the foundation, and you just need to be not afraid to share your story.
Okay. Thank you.
Big stuff.
Can you leave those?
I'm going to leave those right there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who's next, Donna? Who else would you like to have answer your question?
Well, I'll go with Rainey.
Okay.
My beautiful purple girl. The reason I asked Mona to keep these cards out is because if you look at the integration card, the one thing that you think is you're alone. You're not alone. I do have a business called Rainey Creates, where I do help spiritual entrepreneurs kind of overcome and integrate the technology world. Would it be a fair statement to say that technology is not your strong point?
Yes, I struggle a
A
little
little
bit.
fearfulness with love and grace?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to help you. as my gift to you, because your message and your voice must be heard. We, meaning this, not just the spiritual community, but us as humans, need your voice and need your message. And that's the only thing stopping you from spreading your spiritual gifts. You have something that is going to change people's lives. You're a little bit afraid to do that because of the technology little glitch. Well, girlfriend, I'm going to show you how, because we are in a battle between dark and light, and we can all feel it. You have a message that is so strong, so authentic, that it needs to be heard. Now, I also want to talk about your love of Prince, the most magical musician in this world. You and he have had a past lifetime. He was a prophet. Just like when I look at Tupac Shakur, he was a prophet. He was, yes, she's showing me, Mona's showing me right now the guidance card. You and he were actually husband and wife, and it was during the time, yes, yes, of the Bible, where have you ever read the Gospel of Thomas?
Not all the way through, no.
Girlfriend, read it and see if it resonates. He was
Okay.
Thomas. You were his partner. You helped him spread the word. You supported him. You took bullets for him, literally. You and he have had several lifetimes where you supported him because you believed in the message. He is literally, to many people out there, because he sees the fight that we're in, passing the torch to you. Whether you carry it all depends on you getting out of your own way and just making friends with technology. I will show you the way. It's going to be your friend, and I want you to get on your YouTube page and start creating YouTube videos. I would like to extend an invitation. I would like to interview you on my YouTube channel at Rainy Day Psychic Medium, so that you can get your feet wet and not be so afraid of it. Sit with that. Let that just kind of simmer, and know that there's guidance out there for you. You're not alone. And like Mona said, you are turning into the light. You're not turning away from the light. And we are going to integrate all of that technology so that it becomes second nature, because, my darling, you have such a gift to share. And you've got this beautiful angel that watches over you, who is Prince, who you've had many lifetimes with. I can't wait to see you shine your own light. And I'm going to leave you with that.
Thank you so much,
All right,
Rainy.
it's Chris's turn. All right, girl.
Hello,
Hi,
Donna.
Chris.
Hi. Have you ever had your chart read before?
No.
Okay, so you are a Scorpio rising.
Okay.
So you're ruled by Pluto, but you also have your Neptune in your first house. So this tells me that you're very instinctual, but you're also very intuitive. So highly intuitive, very artistic as well. And so I'm going to actually add on to what Mona and Rainey said about the past life connection, and that you being born into this life. So you have this placement in your chart that talks about you being spiritually guided, and it is from past life, and it's, you want to call it your spirit guide or a guardian angel, but there's this divine support that follows you. And actually, you're really good at being, you're very intuitive. So with that, this looks like it, there's at times where you can actually feel this. I think you probably know that, or felt that you've been guided. But to kind of answer your question, so first, before I do that, I'm going to go into a couple areas of your chart because it directly relates to your question. So
Okay.
you have what are called stelliums in your chart. You have a couple of them, actually. One of them falls in your fifth house. Your fifth house represents just self-expression, creativity, your passion, you follow in your heart. It can also rule children. And then you have your sixth house of work and health. So you have stelliums in both of these areas. Stelliums are three or more. Well, I go by three or more placements in a certain area. So when you have a stellium, you have this, there's a lot of energy there. So those placements are amplified. So you have your stelliums in the sign of mostly in the sign of Aries. And so this tells me that you are a powerhouse. Like, so not only are you intuitive, but you're a doer as well. So you are a powerhouse when it comes to work. And
Mhm.
you have this placement that talks about you being just very, very focused and disciplined when it comes to your work. And then you have the other stellium that's in your fifth house. And with that, there's a couple of really important placements that fall into that stellium. One is this placement talks about where you find your healing from. So when you go into that energy, it brings up all these silver linings, and so there's a lot of healing there. But to get to that, sometimes there's a lot of, like Mona said, there might be something that you really went through that was very, very tough. And so this falls in your fifth house. And so it's telling me that through this hardship or this very, I'm going to call it kind of traumatic event in your life, that there's healing that comes from that. And
Mhm.
so there's a lot of beautiful things that come from it, but sometimes it can be really hard to actually get through it. But you have all this fire in your chart, which tells me that you're one of those people that you're very brave and courageous. And so it doesn't matter. Also, another thing that Mona said about your advice to other people would be like, face it. And because you are a warrior, like you're a life warrior, you're able to get through anything that
Yeah.
kind of is thrown at you. And so, so you have this placement that talks about healing, right? And it's in your fifth house, and that's through that could be passion, children are connected there, creativity. But you also have your north node there, and your north node represents your highest potential in this lifetime, what you're supposed to fulfill, your life's purpose. And for a lot of people, it's very uncomfortable to get to that point. And so the other side to that is your south node, and your south node is your comfort zone. What's comfortable for you? It's what you fall back on um, whenever you're in an uncomfortable situation or kind of facing the unknown. So you have this ability to transform people through relationships, connections. You're also very lucky when it comes to connections. So you tend to kind of fall back on that because that's where your south node is. That's your comfort zone. So your north node is actually in your fifth house of following your passion. And so maybe that can, you sometimes that can feel kind of uncomfortable to go after it. And I feel like it's strongly connected to whatever this event was that was traumatic, where there's healing that needs to take place. Also, I want to touch on a couple transits that you have coming up for you. One of them you're in the middle of, and it's a very important transit. It's Neptune, which you're ruled by Neptune, which gives you your intuition and your also artistic ability. Also talks about being spiritual or being spiritually elevated. And
Mhm.
so this is right smack on your north node in your fifth house. So if you're thinking about doing any kind of new venture or hobby or any kind of passion project that is involving spirituality, the
Mhm.
metaphysical world, now is the time. The spirit saying like now is the time to do that. So it activates that north node, and then it's also activating that placement of healing as well. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that was very insightful and helpful
Great.
and food for thought.
I got to jump in.
Okay.
Okay. I wonder, and it's funny because, Rainey made me think of this, and then Chris made me think of this as she was closing what she was saying to you. I
Mhm.
almost wonder, by you sharing your story, if you end up inviting other women to share their story, and that it actually ends up being um, the the women that are heroes, or the um, it's, we're all in this lifetime together, and we all learn from each other, and sometimes the crap that we go through is exactly what somebody else needs to hear for
Mhm.
the motivation to say, yeah, it can be all okay. It's like, that's why most Disney movies are so popular, because they tie it up in a little bow at the end, usually, unless it's Bambi and they kill mom at the beginning. I'm just saying. That, by the way, I have to tell you, the first movie I ever saw was by myself, was freaking Bambi.
Oh,
Oh
I
no.
was 8 years old. My parents dropped me off at the theater. I get to go see Bambi in the theater, my first movie, and they kill mom.
Oh, that's traumatic.
never going to the movies again, especially alone
and
at 8 years old.
And then I don't think I went back to the movies until I fell in love with Clint Eastwood and started watching all the spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood in them. But I digress.
And he's going to be passing, by the way, this year.
Oh wow. Okay. Good to know. All right.
Mm.
So Donna, what we like to ask is your feedback on your experience here on 3. So can you give us some insights on your experience here?
Absolutely. All of this resonates. I loved each reading, each aspect here that's been offered, and I think this gives me such a good place to start from, all 3 areas. You know, there's so much knowledge here in each, or knowledge may not be the word, but information, good information in each one of your messages to me. They all make sense. And will be very helpful in helping me continue on this spiritual elevation that I am on, and seeking and desiring, and creating a more peaceful, loving life, not only for myself, but I've been really, really feeling that need to help others so much more in the last couple weeks. I went to see Amma, and when I was there, that's what was on my heart most, was about helping other people. And so I'm prompted all the time to be with names. So I've just been sending the messages out. And
May I add one thing for you, Don? And I would love for Chris and Mona to chime in. Your regular job is just a job, and I want you to change how you think about that job.
okay.
This side gig is your joy and part of your healing.
Yep.
Is that what you see in
Yes.
her chart? You just need to change your thoughts about it.
So
Okay.
that also kind of plays into like your question of what's holding you back.
Uh-huh.
It's the full-time job, because you're a workaholic, and you're so just
Dedicated.
go dedicated. You dive into the details. You just
Yes.
You're very Virgo-like when it comes to your work, which is workaholic and just down into the details, and very, very disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
But it also takes a lot of your energy.
So the integration card reversed means that you're presenting a face that everybody has this identity, and it's basically a false identity of who you are, because all of the other gifts that you bring to the table is really who you are. And then the card that was following was called participation. Now, in traditional tarot, that card is called the 4 of Wands, and it is a collaborative celebration of a lot of energies supporting you. Now, you got these spirits on the other side. So if I were in your job and I still needed the job to financially support myself, I would see if I could change the hours of my job to work from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. so that I could have the afternoon free to pursue or write my book or do my video series or decide that you're going to start doing public presentations. But, you know, as I hear you talk, I love your accent. And that there's this very accepting, smooth, lovely way that you have of interacting with people. So when you're telling your story in this very matter-of-fact way, and you're doing it with this very easy to listen to accent, this very easy to listen to vibration, then what happens is that other people are going to reveal their secrets or their story to you because you make them feel so comfortable. So if there's any way at all that you can move your job to maybe a hybrid work environment where you get to work from home sometimes, or if you can change your hours to work, say 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., and don't take a lunch break, snack throughout the day kind of thing, then you're detached from that. And now you have the evening free to do what you need to do to pursue this. But I definitely see you being a spiritual leader in some way. And Chris and Rainey are over here nodding their heads going, yes. And for you to get that card called the Master, it does not come up in people's readings. All it says is for you to start opening yourself to the message of Spirit, because Spirit's going to tell you how to do it. So there you go. Really lovely that you are part of the program, Donna. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being available. Thank you for zooming in. Thank you for sounding so clear. We just have loved to have you on the program.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you, your wisdom, your everything. So have a beautiful day, and namaste.
Thanks. Wow, that was really fun.
Ladies, I adore you so much.
The
You don't
feeling is
know.
mutual.
You don't know how. Could you feel her shift when you were
Oh, my
talking
God.
to her? When you were telling
Oh,
her,
yeah.
you gave her hope. You gave her faith.
Okay, we gave her hope.
Yes, but
But
accolades. Yeah, mine's baby got back. But I know, honestly, I think we're affecting
Yes.
people's energy and shifting them.
And every single person that's watching this particular episode has probably gotten something out of it, even if they never zoom into our program, even if we never get to hear their voice, even if they never call us for a reading. People are getting things out of this because we now have thousands of people watching this every week, which means that in all our episodes, we've had close to 50,000 people look at our episodes.
We're doing something right.
We're doing something right, and everything happens for a reason. You're watching this for a reason. We love you all. How do you be on 3? Go to 3.vegas, www.3.vegas. You can find out more information about the three of us, Chris and Rainey and myself. You could schedule a private session with us if you'd like, or if you'd like to be on 3, go to How to Be on 3 page, fill out the contact form, and about a week before we do our filming, we'll reach out to you to have you be on the program. In the meantime, have a wonderful, blessed week, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.